The Roman Empire was one of the most influential and powerful empires in human history. At its peak, it covered a vast area of land spanning from modern-day England in the west to Egypt in the east. In this video, we will explore the history and geography of the Roman Empire. The history of the Roman Empire is basically divided into two parts. The first of these is the Republic period, the second is the Empire period. Of course, the transition from Republic to Empire was not easy. In this video, we will try to explain each period with the help of Roman Empire maps and images. Rome gained its early success as a republic. It was ruled by the elites in the Roman Senate. In threatening situations, presidents were appointed under the name of consul, and they went on expedition at the head of the armies. The army of the Rome was far superior to its rivals in terms of technique and discipline. These units, called the Roman legions, were obliged to protect Rome surrounded by barbarian tribes and to conquer when necessary. However, there was always the possibility that consuls, equipped with extraordinary powers in wartime, could seize power in Rome. We see this risk peaking in the time of Julius Caesar. The period when the most powerful people of Rome unite against Caesar is the most interesting part of Roman history. When Crassus, Pompey, and Caesar formed the first triumvirate, Julius Caesar prevailed with his intelligence and military skills. He conquered Gaul and neutralized the barbarians, then marched on Britain. He had a strong bond with his soldiers, and the Roman legions literally worshipped him. Moreover, Caesar allied himself with Egypt as a result of his marriage with Cleopatra. The Senate was uncomfortable that Julius Caesar became an extraordinary power. A leader who seemed impossible to be defeated by war was assassinated in the Senate. After the first triumvirate ended in war, the second was established. The alliance included Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus, Mark Antony, and Lepidus. After Caesar's revenge was taken, the three consuls began to deal with each other. Mark Antony, who allied himself with Cleopatra, was defeated by Octavian. The victorious Octavian proclaimed himself Roman Emperor with the name Augustus. Augustus did what the Senate had expected from his father and proclaimed himself emperor. The era of Emperor Augustus and his right-hand man Agrippa brought great prosperity to Rome. Rome ruled over much of the known world for the next 200 years. All the fertile lands and maritime trade in and around the Mediterranean were under Roman control. Thanks to this, Roman engineering spread from one end of Europe to the other. Most of the Roman ancient cities in Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East today bear traces of this prosperous period. Augustus' rule witnessed great developments in world history. Especially the death of Jesus and the spread of Christianity by the apostles would mark Roman history. Although the power of this new teaching was initially ignored, it later spread throughout Rome. Much has changed in the 300 years from Augustus to Constantine the Great. Rome reached its peak in the 1st and 2nd centuries AD. This era is described by historians as the period of the 5 good emperors. These emperors were Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius. During these emperors, the greatest extent of the Roman Empire were reached. The peak, however, was also the beginning of the decline. The most prominent feature of the 5 good emperors was that the emperors adopted and prepared the next ruler. But Marcus Aurelius insisted on taking his own son to the throne instead of raising a gifted man. Commodus, who did not have the characteristics to become a strong leader, ascended to the throne and paved the way for decline. Roman Empire map at its peak shows us military success unseen in world history. Although conquerors such as Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan established such great empires, none left such a legacy in world history as Rome. Rome created a magnificent formula by adding military, architectural, and administrative principles to the philosophy, mathematics, and medical knowledge inherited from ancient Greece. However, like any great civilization, the Roman Empire declined after some point. The first signs of the decline were with Commodus' ascension to the throne. During the Severan dynasty, the deterioration was temporarily halted. Then Roman Empire entered a 50-year period of chaos. Between 235 and 285 there was a period of great turmoil. The emperors were deposed one after another and a new one came. The generals that ruled the Roman army were destroying the empire through the fights for the throne. It was Diocletian who put an end to this situation. Diocletian made military, economic, and political reforms and saved the empire from extinction. Then he introduced a new administrative system called tetrarchy. As you can see in the map of Roman tetrarchy, the empire was divided into 4 parts. However, not every ruler had equal authority. The empire was basically ruled by 2 Augustus, senior emperors. These were Maximian and Diocletian. However, 2 more young emperors were appointed to lead the expeditions that would last for years. These people who became the Caesars, junior emperors, were Constantius, father of Constantine the Great, and Galerius. However, the system he established was against human nature. The peaceful sharing of political power between the 4 emperors was not possible in the long run. Constantine, one of the Caesars who gained power after Diocletian, destroyed his rivals and took power alone. During the reign of Emperor Constantine, the Roman Empire moved its center from Rome to Byzantium. Constantine grasped the strategic importance of Byzantium in the Tetrarchy-era civil war and considered it as the new capital. The foundation of Constantinople lasted 6 years between 324 and 330, and it became the Roman capital with a grand ceremony. Constantine's new city offered better opportunities than the ancient capital Rome, which had lost its strategic importance. Because it was close to the 2 fronts that emperors had to fight. Roman emperors had to fight against the Germanic peoples in the west and the Sassanid Empire, Persians, in the east. After Constantine, the empire began to decline. Emperor Theodosius ascended the throne at a time when the empire was about to collapse. He won important military victories and secured borders. But he died unexpectedly in his 40s. With the death of Theodosius, the division of the Roman Empire became permanent. Western Rome was left to Theodosius's 12-year-old son Honorius, while Eastern Rome was left to 18-year-old Arcadius. Western Rome could only survive for 81 years after the division of Rome due to mismanagement. However, the Eastern Roman Empire, which we call the Byzantine Empire in modern history, survived until 1453. In conclusion, the Roman Empire was a powerful and influential empire that left a lasting impact on the world. It was home to some of the greatest rulers, architects, and inventors in history. Despite its eventual downfall, the Roman Empire remains an important part of human history, and its legacy can still be felt today in everything from our legal systems to our architecture. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something new today.